Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
Now let's have a hand for our first speaker, Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary. I'm a cocaine addict, relapse master, compulsive, impulsive, and just downright mean. I can't what? I can't drink either. Thank you, William. I'll pay you after the meeting. I can't tell you enough. There's not enough time to tell you how much indebted I am to this program. It took me a long time to get the point. I was clean for 8.5 years. I got cleaned up 1985, June the 17th, and went to a party in 1993 where there's a big plate of cocaine on the table, and I said, you know, that doesn't do to me what it used to. I can control that now. I'm stronger than that now. I went right into it, and I was gone. I was not the caboose that kills you, it's the engine. And I was flattened. And I'm doing step 4 now. I've been doing step 4 a long time. It's starting to entertain me because I'm realizing what an idiot, asshole, dumb shit I was. Everything that's on the dark side of the coin, I was there 7 times. I've done that tour. I've been mean. I was an incredible liar. I could lie like nobody else. I would lie so good I would believe it. So therefore, I wasn't lying. I was telling the truth. And the truth to me requires no questions. The truth is what comes out of this program. And also step number 3. Step number 1, 2, and 3 are very, very important. Number 4 is fun if you let yourself get into it. 12 is giving back. 11 is facing yourself down deep in meditation. All the steps are very important, don't get me wrong. Those 12 steps, those 12 traditions, those 12 promises. In spirituality, there's a story that was told to me once, and I put an ending on it I'd like to share with you. Thousands of years ago, God was walking around the desert, and he went into the tent of a sheikh and said, "Hi, I'm God. I have 10 commandments I'd like to give you." And he said, "Well, give me an example." And God said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." And the sheikh said, "Are you kidding me? Get out of here. That's not the way we live." God went to Rome. He ends up in the palace of the emperor and says, "Emperor, I'm God. I have 10 commandments I'd like to give you." The emperor said, "You're going to give me a commandment? Give me an example of one." "Well, thou shalt not steal." The emperor laughed heartily and said, "How do you think we've gotten to where we are?" He said, "All these roads lead to here. You get on one and get out of here now or I have your head." God said, "Thank you," and left. Ends up in the desert again. Finds this little man in the desert, stuttering. He can't move very good. He's sweating. He's like he's on fire. God comes up to him and says, "Moses, I have 10 commandments I'd like to give you." Moses looked at him and said, "How much are they?" And God said, "They're free." And Moses said, "Well, I'll take them all." Now, this come from 2,000 years ago up to 1996. 12 steps, 12 traditions, and 12 promises. They have been paid for by every one of us. So therefore, it's nice every day to read a promise, to read a tradition, to work on one step, party one step. Read page 449, 86, 76, page 58. This is how I started my recovery after I OD'd on cocaine and steroids 2 May the 3rds ago. And I'm realizing now the beauty of this program, the beauty of the hearts and souls and the nature of all of you in here. What a support it is, and how good it feels to be in recovery. How good it feels not to lie. and how hard it was to get out of that habit. My fiance will tell you about that, where I was just, oh gosh, I was a good liar. And that's not any good anymore. Lying is not any good. And I also have a feeling, because of my spiritual reconnection, I gave my life back to God. Through the event of recovery in AA, I rededicated my life to Christ in front of 70,000 men at the Promise Keepers in Los Angeles Coliseum in April. And what a meaning that was. Surrendering to Him, letting Him, step number 3, letting Him take you. He's got His hands on every one of you. Every one of you are very special in God's eyes. The idea now in recovery is to get to know Him. Get to know God, get to know Jesus. Bring Jesus home with you every night and have Him sitting there at the dinner table. When you have an argument, see what happens. Because He's not going to let that happen, just with His grace of Spirit. And I do believe that addiction is a failed search for spirituality. It's a way to get high and look for that brighter horizon, that bigger, better deal. But friends, it doesn't work. You know it. And you newcomers and people from out of town, welcome here. And this can't lead you wrong. This is the best place to be. In order to get in touch with yourself, get recentered, self-contained. I'm talking about myself a little bit here, and not be so damn mean. I wake up mean. That was a funny thing to do every day until I figured out this is what, I had a list of my dealers, I had a list of where to go and hit this and hit this and hit this, and I couldn't function without that. I needed that cocaine. God bless cocaine, I used to say. Then there were several times I wish I was dead, and I used to say the Lord's Prayer in bed, sweating in a pool of sweat, over and over and over and over, saying, please take me out of this. I figured out through the program, it's not God that takes you out of it. You turn your life over to Him, and all of a sudden it becomes your game. You are the captain of your ship. You control your own behavior and your own relationships, relationship you have with loved ones. 99.9% of us want love, care, and affection, and we're born that way. That's how you feel when you come out of the womb. So you go through all the stuff you go through growing up in whatever kind of dysfunctional, functional family you have. Then you get to be young adults. And the great thing about the human animal is that we're the only animal that has free choice, free will. But remember this, God is in control. Right now in my image making of life, God is driving my stagecoach. I'm just riding shotgun. I take Him where He wants me to. He takes me where I go where He wants me to go, and I pray for that every day. And it's so nice to be here speaking in front of you. I've been praying for this too, to start issuing my own heart and my own experience to every one of you here. And every one of you mean a lot to yourselves. Don't forget that. The promise you make to yourselves to stay sober and clean. And it's just, and just think of it as one day at a time. Don't think about next Wednesday. That'll get you in trouble. Next Thursday. Or heartache, or a job, something blows up your job, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend get mad at you, and boy, all these things can trigger that. But don't let that happen. Stay in touch with yourself, with God. And it can get better every day. I'm proud to say that I'm in recovery for the rest of my life. With this meeting, with therapy, with the Bible. Do you know what Bible stands for? B-I-B-L-E? Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. And that's a good one. Dr. Reyes. Light is a good one, L-I-G-H-T, living in God's heavenly thoughts. Failing, finding an important lesson, inviting needed growth. Well, sometimes we fail, but that's okay, we're human beings. And to grab yourself up from the dirt, I had to reach up to touch bottom a couple of years ago. Well, good for me. He finally got my attention. I got the constitution of a government mule, and it just wasn't working for me. So he got my attention, and I live for that now. And I could go on and on and on, but I won't. I think I've said enough, because there's a lot of meeting to go through, and I want to feel you guys' feeling, because I can do that now. I'm open to others with consideration and love. And thank you very much for hearing this.
Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control. up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with, and it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst, then one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down, and then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.